It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back to it. It is your feel-good breakfast show. It's Expresso live on SABC3. Thanks so much for starting the day off with us. Now, today is a special day. It's International Nurses Day, which has been celebrated every year on the 12th of May since 1965. Now, it's celebrated on the birthday of Florence Nightingale, the founder of modern nursing as we've come to know it. Now, we know that nursing is the largest healthcare profession in the world, and nurses, they really do play a vital role during the COVID-19 pandemic. I mean, they are the true heroes on the front line every single day, going out there and fighting the COVID-19 fight. And we're going to be chatting on the line by a registered nurse, Craig Albertus, who works at the Tygerberg Hospital here in the Western Cape. They do a lot of testing around COVID-19, and he's really gotten to experience what that environment and that territory is like during this time. Craig, good morning. You are such a superstar. Thank you so much for making time to chat to us this morning. Craig,
good morning, Tabitha, and good morning to all the viewers.
Well, Craig, you work at...
It's a big pleasure to talk to you guys this morning.
Fantastic. You work at one of the tertiary hospitals in the Western Cape, the Tygerberg Hospital. You do tests for COVID-19 and you treat patients who have tested positive as well. Are you currently working directly with any of the COVID-19 patients?
At the moment, I'm not working directly with these patients, but the thing is, all the patients that we do treat or that I have, that I'm in contact with, I treat as a COVID positive patient just to protect myself and to protect the patients as well. Because you don't know what is happening out there and what the patients actually have when they come into the hospital.
Craig, first of all, second of all, rather, happy International Nurses Day. It's so tempting to jump straight into the COVID-19 conversation, but, you know, we're always thinking of you, you guys putting yourselves out there and really just saving lives. But tell me, what does a normal day at work look like for you? And, you know, what preventative measures are you taking and have you put in place to protect yourself from getting infected with the coronavirus? Ooh, it seems we've lost Craig. He is a busy man and the hospital seems to be quite a busy time at this time. We'll try and catch up with him a bit later on if we can get him on the line. But of course, happy International Nurses Day. These are the people putting themselves on the front line and fighting on a daily basis, keeping lives safe. Time for us to check out what's happening on social media. Ladies!
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Well, earlier on, we started a conversation with Craig Albertus, who is a nurse working on the front line during this COVID-19 pandemic. And of course, we lost him, but it seems we've got him back on the line. Craig, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Fantastic. Now, Craig, there's a lot happening during this time. How are you keeping yourself safe? What precautionary measures have you taken and have you put in place to make sure that you are safe and continue to be able to do the good work that you're doing?
First and foremost is that you have to look after yourself. So, and especially in the environment that I'm working in at the moment. So, as we all know, we have this PPE that we have to wear as the frontline workers. So, basic protection is to protect us. We wear masks, our gloves, and our apron. If we work with any patient, no matter what their status, if it's COVID positive or negative, and if you do work with a COVID positive patient, you have the full PPE. We have to wear a gown, goggles, visor to protect yourself and to protect your patient, because you might be asymptomatic and still have the COVID virus, or your patient can transfer the virus to you. So it's a bit of a daunting case, but PPE is the best thing that we use in hospital at the moment to protect ourselves.
Keep safe out there, Craig. In fact, you know better about keeping safe than I do. I shouldn't be telling you this. But Craig, on International Nurses Day, here you are, a male nurse in, I think, a space that a lot of people expect, you know, nurses, or the stigma is that nurses are female, or the idea is that nurses are female. How did you, first of all, decide on this profession, and how have you handled the stigma, if there is even such a thing?
As you said, yes, nursing is known as a female-dominated profession. To be honest with you, my first choice was to study medicine, but as the child of a single mother, it would have been impossible financially for her to send me to medical school. So I decided, okay, let me study nursing. And as soon as I started, and as I was going through my course, doing my degree, I fell more and more in love with nursing. And when I finished, I started working. I still had this thing in my mind, okay, I might just study medicine, but it actually never bothered me again because I loved nursing so much because I had the time to spend with my patient, to have a bit more time to provide that sympathy, that empathy that they need at their bedside. And I love to have that bedside nursing manner with my patients. And as a male in a nursing profession, there's quite a lot of stigma around it. And my thing regarding that is to constantly improve my skills, to just to show other people as well, to show other nurses that male nurses can be proper nurses as well, as they say, and can provide proper nursing care towards patients as well.
The wonderful thing, I think, about what you do is that you really do have the opportunity on a daily basis to build those really meaningful connections with patients as they come into hospitals and to reassure them and to make them feel safe and make them feel like they're in good hands. Thank you so much for doing that. So, International Nurses Day, how do you usually commemorate this day?
Well, a lot of hospitals has different ways of commemorating International Nurses Day. Where they normally have a function to say thank you to nurses, to give them a token of appreciation. 2020, as you know, is now with, we have the COVID-19 pandemic, so it's a bit different. But especially this year, what's happening is that the National Minister of Health is going to have a telebroadcast with all the provinces, where all the nurses will say then a split of service again, because that is just to empower yourself and to remind yourself why you are in this profession, why you're actually doing that. And that is something that I encourage myself with every day. When I feel a bit down, when I feel a bit negative, to look at my nurse's pledge of service, and especially on this day, because this means a lot to us as a nurse. It tells you why you are here, why you're doing this, and it's not for you, it's for the patient. And a simple thank you from a patient or a doctor on this day, or just a happy International Nurses Day, means so much to us.
Seems like, or it sounds like it's true what they say, nursing is a calling, and you have been gifted with the ability to just take on that calling and run with it. Thank you so much for chatting to us this morning. Craig Albertus, who is a nurse, celebrating today as we commemorate International Nurses Day. Of course, lots of work to be done in and around our hospitals across the country, in fact, across the globe. But of course, make sure that you work with the nurses. Go on to www.sacoronavirus.co.za. Learn all about the work that they are doing in their hospital spaces, but also how to protect yourself against the coronavirus.